Hello, welcome back to Collector Creations. In this Anatomy of a Blu-ray, we're looking at another Chameleon Films release. This is their latest, Sparrow, which came out on the 19th of February, which... that's today that I'm filming. Whew. How about that? So this is their new release, Spine number 7, which is nice. They've actually got... all their releases still available on the website, which I highly recommend. A lot of them are Johnny To films, including Sparrow, which I had never seen a Johnny To film, because I've been too lazy to actually watch any of the other ones from Chameleon Films that I've bought, which is stupid of me, because this is a beautiful filmmaker, and as someone who appreciates Hong Kong cinema, this is a fucking film that knows how to appreciate Hong Kong and cinema. So let's dive into it. So we've got our packaging. This is the slipcover it comes with. There is an alternate version which comes with a CD soundtrack, which I kind of regret not buying. It's 20 extra Australian dollars. This was 35. That's 55. I did actually buy this with Motorway from Chameleon Films, but this soundtrack is stunning. I really kind of wish I had bought that CD version, but you know, live and learn. Nevertheless, you get the slipcover, which is nice, has this name on the spine, has all the details on the back, including talking about what the film is actually about, as well as all the special features. It is Region B. I haven't tested to see if it's multi-regions. Probably worth doing. I might actually try that out now. Well, the good news is I've put it onto my all-region player and it does play through Region A. So probably for legal reasons they've emphasized Region B, but it is at least Region A and B compatible. So that's very good. But of course you take it out from the sleeve and you do get the alternate version. So this is a Scanavo case. It actually has reversible artwork. This is the reversed artwork. The main artwork is the same as what's already on the sleeve. Again, same details on the back, but this time just with images from the film. So, you know, still a nice way to display it if you don't get the slipcover in the end, or you just don't want to have the slipcover. And you open it up and you get the artwork there. Obviously, yeah, original artwork, the disc artwork, and a booklet. Who doesn't like a booklet? The artwork on the booklet is actually the artwork that they use on the main menu screen, which is really nice. As well as you've got the score playing, at least for one particular song, which is nice. I like when they do that. So I'll give a brief display of the booklet, artwork-wise. It is just a essay, but you do get a couple of stills in it as well. It's called Pickpocket Full of Miracles, an essay by Sean Gilman, which is several pages long, with, again, more images from the film, which is nice. They're nicely well produced. It's a good material for it, you know. It doesn't overly highlight things, but I do like its use of bold text as well. Mostly in this case, by the looks of it, for titles of other movies, which is nice. This actually talks about different films by Johnny To. Again, I haven't seen them yet, so I can't really reference it. But it does also mention Meals on Wheels and Susie Wong, which was the world of Susie Wong, I should say, which was an influence on this film. I would imagine it would probably have the French film that this is also inspired by, but I don't. It's actually got a bunch because it talks about crime films, Mission Impossible. It mentions how this is also influenced by musicals of the 60s, especially French New Wave. There was one in particular. There's a Jacques Demy's great musicals, Umbrellas, as well as The Young Girls of Roquefort and Un Cambre en Ville, because I am totally great at pronouncing French. It's annoying because it doesn't actually tell me what the English name for the Umbrellas one is. Why does it not do that? Does it already reference that earlier? Probably does. The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. That's the one. Which I actually, having seen clips from the video essay, would definitely like to check out. And there's a new Criterion 4K coming out, so I'll probably get that. Anyway, let's talk about this. We're not here to talk about other brands. We're here to talk about Australian boutique labels. Chameleon so far have been consistent in their releases. I have all of them, which is very rare for me to do, but they haven't released very many. This is the 7th one. It looks like there are 6 releases. It's because they've done Election 1 and 2 in one pack, which I'm totally cool with because, I have more space on the shelf for more Blu-rays. Isn't that beautiful? So let's take a look at the transfer and the audio and the special features. What did I say? If I sound nasally today, I've got a head cold. Who'd have thought? So I'm home on a Wednesday watching Johnny Toe films. Cinema, baby. Beautiful transfer, no dust or dirt or anomalies. Blacks are crisp and overall colours pop nicely when they need to, because it's a stylized film which occasionally has some very popped out colours. Very nice. It's a clean transfer but healthy. Subtitles, which, because it is a non-English film, I watched the Cantonese version, because of course I would. Cantonese is a beautiful language. The subtitles are burnt onto the screen with white on black text, so it stands out but it doesn't take away from the overall picture, just the appropriate size. They're all, I believe, newly translated as well. It was shot on 35mm, so it looks just fantastic. Just a great standard, it's a BD50 release. Looks fucking good. Audio-wise, it is a Cantonese 5.1 mix, which sounded very nice with a good range of music and sound effects. The score is presented beautifully. The dialogue is very easy to understand, even though I don't know what the fuck they're saying, because I don't speak Cantonese. But there is a Mandarin track, Mandarin DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 as well. So yeah, it's in 235:1, 1080p color. It's an 87-minute long film, so it's very easy to watch, very fun. It's really just a great film in general. I gave it 4.5 stars. I was really taken away by it because it's got this beautiful, vibey nature to it, which, being someone who watches a lot of Wong Kar-wai films, it's my appreciation for Hong Kong cinema, but I also love Jackie Chan films. So I have range, don't I? But it was just really nice to watch. It's so beautifully shot. The characters are really fun and interesting. And apparently it's quite a contrast to a lot of his other films, because in that same time period he's doing a lot of heavy crime films. And this is still a crime film, but this is a light and bubbly, very easy for Western audiences, per se, to get into. So I definitely recommend it, both as a starter for his filmography or just a film in general, because you don't need to know the context of all of his previous films to know that a lot of his actors have been in these previous films and have played much more brutal, fucked up people, which I only know from watching the video essay, but at the same time, it in its own right is just a beautiful solo piece that really encapsulates and beautifies Hong Kong in this really amazing way, and I really appreciate it for that alone. It makes me really want to go there eventually one day, assuming Godzilla doesn't destroy it again, but we'll see. Anyway, let's talk about the special features. So, of course, it comes with, as these are all written from the website, the collector's case and booklet feature a new essay by film critic Sean Gilman. There's a new audio commentary by Hong Kong cinema expert Frank De Jong, which I feel like would be really nice to listen to, mostly because Hong Kong experts, always good. But also it's a really short film, so it's a perfect time. You could double feature itself with itself and just listen to someone talk about it. And I feel like that could be really interesting. So no, I have not listened to it yet. But I did watch A Playful Departure, a new video essay on Sparrow by filmmaker Zach Kloss, which is 8 minutes long. The video essay talks about Sparrow as an interesting contrast to Toe's filmography at the time. It also discusses female representation in Toe's films, which is very unlike any of his other previous films, which have always been highly masculinized, very violent. So yeah, it's really nice. There are newly translated and improved optional English subtitles by Dylan Chung. Reversible sleeve, of course, with newly created and original poster artwork. 2011 interview with co-composer Xavier Jamal, I think it is, Jamo. Editor David Richardson and production supervisor Ding Yun Shang, which is 13 minutes long. Also a very interesting look at these three guys talking about the making of the film, because it was filmed over several years, in between a lot of other films that Johnny Toe was making at the time. So it's really nice to see them talking about how they took approach for the music, especially with its World of Susie Wong inspiration, how the editing process was when it was just so periodically filmed, like they would film it in pockets before actually obviously finishing the whole thing. So it's got some nice production, behind the scenes details. You also get interviews with the director, Johnny To, and performers Simon Yam, Kelly Lin, and Gordon Lam Katang, with newly translated English subtitles, which is 35 minutes in total. I watched the one with Johnny To, which was really nice. A good 7-minute long interview of him talking about his inspiration for the film and how he likes how people have received it, because at that time he had gone through some film circuits, and he thought that it was really an easy stepping stone for Western audiences to come into his films that aren't so violent and gratuitous. Still visually stunning, and a lot of people love the umbrella, rain sequence, because he mentions how it was inspired by musicals of the 60s and he wanted to create a musical, but they didn't have the budget for it, so they opted for this version instead. But he was still able to get that rain sequence in, which is both the most action heavy but also most beautifully shot and dance choreography like of any of the parts of the movie, so it feels the most like a musical number, mostly also because the score is just so beautiful throughout the film. There was also the gala premiere featurette, which is 4 minutes long, the press conference featurette, which is 9 minutes long, the making of Sparrow, which is 2 minutes, and then a photo gallery and 2 trailers. So yeah, as an overall, what do I think of the release? I really like this release of Sparrow. I think Chameleon have labeled themselves as a really interesting brand for looking at Asian cinema, and I really appreciate that. As the white guy who likes Asian cinema, hot damn, was this a good goddamn option? I'm very, very excited to actually watch more of the Johnny To films that they've released, with Exiled and Election 1 and 2, and I believe there was another one, but I can never remember the name of it. But nevertheless, breaking news, that's the one. I have seen one of their other videos, which I will link at the end of the video, their time travel one, which is a nice Japanese film, and they've got Motorway as well, which I recently got with this. So yeah, but of course, if you've seen the film before and you love the soundtrack, I highly recommend getting the version that comes with the CD. You can do the same with Motorway as well, but I haven't seen that, so I don't know if it's as beautiful as a film, but it's a different filmmaker, so who knows? Probably is. I mean, if they're releasing a CD soundtrack, there's probably some essence to the soundtrack that quantifies a CD release, but who knows? Nevertheless, definitely worth recommending this release, whether you get the standard edition or not. I'll link down below to the Chameleon Films website. It is 35 Australian dollars, which isn't bad for a slipcover version with a good slew of special features. And yeah, and you can, eventually get free postage when you tag in a bunch of stuff in your cart. And also their older releases come with extra slipcovers if you want to buy those. So I don't talk enough about Chameleon Films, but they're great guys. They do some great stuff, and I'm really excited to see what else they come up with. But this is a great one to start with if you haven't watched any of them. Also, the Summertime Machine one was great. So yeah, I mean, fuck it. If you like Hong Kong cinema, this is the way to go. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Adios.